Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about another episode of Dueling Book Commentary. We have Command Ocho. I didn't know I could turn off that. 1166 rating, 2969 experience, taking on Galantron. I love that name. 749 experience, 749 rating, excuse me, 530 experience. So a lot more experience on Ocho's part. And even a higher rating too. I think so. Ocho's kind of coming on the way down, and we could see Galantron playing that Trickstars. Before you jumped in, Terraforming got Light Stage. Not sure what Light Stage searched, but we do see a Licorice and 2 set on the field. Hopefully these aren't 2 reincarnations, and there's not a Droll in Garland Nation's hand. If not, this duel is over. But if it was, I'm pretty sure he would have done it by now. We see a magical Musketeer normal summon, and it's going to attack into Licorice. So I think it's all coming together. We got Galantron. He's got a little bit less of a rating. Taking on Ocho's a little bit higher of a rating. Usually when that happens, especially when it's this big of a gap, 400 in my opinion is a bit of a gap, especially with this much experience of a gap, that usually means the person with higher experience is playing a little bit of a worse deck, and the person with a lower experience is playing a little bit of a better deck, because that's just usually how Dueling Book works. But anyway, we see Scapegoat activate in the end phase after Ocho sets a card. Not customary for Magical Musketeers to set cards in a small trap, so that's a little bit interesting. But we see one of the what is it, sheep tokens? They're sheep tokens, right? Wait, actually, doesn't this show? Yeah, sheep token. We see one of the sheep tokens getting used for Link Spider. Another sheep token used to make Link Karibo, and we see Shard Ride. Activated on the summon of Link Karibo. Except by drawing them right. Shard Ride, pretty decent card. I'm just not sure if that was the correct time to do that. I think, obviously, if Galantron was going to summon Phoenix anyway, then that would have been fine. But like, here's my thing: if I'm Ocho, I'm not activating Shard Ride until I know I'm gonna get something out of it. Like my opponent activates Terraforming, change Shard Ride. Like that's when I'm activating Shard Ride. Or like when Phoenix is summoned, Phoenix discard target. In that situation, I would activate a Shard Ride. I just don't think I would activate Shard Ride on the Link Karibo summoning. That being said, we see a Nightmare Goblin summon, so Scapegoat making a Nightmare Phoenix and a Nightmare Goblin. Phantom Skyblaster normal summon, that's going to special summon 2 Skyblaster tokens, which is going to help out a lot. But we're actually going to see Cross Domination, which is the Shrink and the Effect Veiler. Keep in mind, Magical Musketeers are very strong, and if you don't out the monster on the other side of the field with a Regeki or a Kaiju or a Dark Hole, they could just start activating everything they have from a hand. I mean, we've already seen an Ash Blossom go down on the Goblin, which probably was a waste. We saw the Cross Domination go on Skyblaster, which was not a waste in my opinion. We see a preemptively Steady Hands activate. That is probably just to get back that last card, the Cross Domination. I'm pretty sure it's a hard once per turn, because this is Sky Strikers, this is Magical Musketeers, and Magical Musketeers were a really hyped up deck for a good reason in my opinion. It didn't really perform the way a lot of people thought, which is unfortunate, but what isn't, and you can probably pick it up for fairly cheap, I believe, I'm not entirely sure. And it's a really fun deck, it's a really unique deck to use. We see Nightmare Unicorn being summoned using the Skyblaster and the Goblin. Unicorn's going to shuffle back in that dock, draw a card, and then he and his pal Phoenix are going to attack directly for a clean 4,100. And that's a lot of damage. Keep in mind, Ocho already took damage from Light Stage, that was a weird whistle, from Light Stage and Licorice. And so Galantron is in a pretty strong position. What is it? 6 cards to Ocho's 3. And if Ocho doesn't have a Magical Musketeer, that's the end of the duel. I'm not sure which duel it is. I hope it is duel 1. But if it's not duel 1, I hope it's duel 2. That's all I'll say with that. I haven't really seen any side decked cards. I guess Sky Striker, or excuse me, Shard Ride maybe because of the Sky Striker. I definitely could see it being maybe a main decked card, as we see Magical Musketeer Doc again activate or normal summoned, and he's going into this column. He's going to attack. We're probably going to see a card like Steady Hands, or a Cross Domination. We actually know Doc has Cross Domination in his hand. So entering the damage step, so only cards that are Chain Link 3 or that change attack and defense can be activated now. And Cross Domination is going to activate. Also cards that like have to activate, I think. Yeah, that's like the only other thing is cards that are like Magical Musketeer Doc that can be activated in the damage step. So Doc got back, I believe, whatever the Steady Hands, yeah, Steady Hands, which is fairly strong. But the Scapegoat is probably a scoop, yeah, and unless he's got the Last Stand. Last Stand that's a very good Magical Musket Last Stand. The only problem is for Ocho is that now Galantron has 100% knowledge of what Ocho has access to. He has access to the Steady Hands, and he has access to Doc. Doc is... Oh, and we see the drones activate, summoning a token. Ocho is going to activate Doc's effect, getting that Cross Domination. So now he doesn't have to use the Steady Hands preemptively. He can keep it, hold on to it for a little bit. Not sure what Galantron can use with the token, especially considering the Sky Strikers don't really point up. But he is actually going to summon Sky Striker Ace Kagure. But keep in mind, this card is dead as of right now. But Kagure plus Unicorn is a link for... what is the link for Nightmare card's name? Griffin is a very strong card. Firewall Dragon is a very strong card. Skull Dread, Sahir is not really that strong right now. Borolo Dragon is probably the card I would have gone into. Because what he could have done there is he could have made Borolo Dragon activate Hornets again. I don't know. There are 3 expels exactly. So at the very least you could have gone Borolo, just summon the token, attack with a token. But he also could have made a another Sky Striker Link monster, but maybe he didn't want to overextend. As we see, I believe, who attacked who just now? Okay, one of these 2 monsters, I'm pretty sure it was Kagure. Yeah, Kagure attacks into the Dock, and then we see Steady Hands activate, doubling his attack, so now he's at 2800. That's actually really strong, and, Ocho, playing with Magical Musketeers, behind in card advantage. He's not doing too poor, though, right now. Not sure what Galantron has in his hand. Keep in mind he has yet to normal summon. So a Candina could definitely open up this entire duel. But he discarded one earlier, which told me that he had one. He had 2 in his hand. The Dronelock Bird tells me that he probably just didn't think it was going to be relevant in this matchup. We do see a Drones activate, summoning a Shizuku. So now it's during the end phase. He's going to add probably Engage. Because I don't know why you'd add anything else, because nothing else is really going to be relevant at this point. And Engage is just going to be a really good way to start your turn. So we see a set in the far left. I believe that's column 1. It could be column 5. I guess it's relative to where I'm sitting, so I'm going to say it's column 1. But what is it now? 6 cards still for Galantron to Ocho's 3. But Doc has been putting in a lot of work. Where's the Last Stand at? Last Stand is still here. I didn't like Doc too much, but he's been putting in a lot of work, so maybe that's my fault. We see Cross Domination activated, probably on top of the I don't really see what Unicorn. Like, for me, I would have attacked Unicorn because wow, what a play. But anyway, so what just happened before getting back to what I would have done? Doc attacked Kagure Shizuku. Sorry, all Sky Strikers cards look the same to me. Cross Domination went down in the damage step. And Doc was changed to that. Solemn Strike was changed to Doc. Getting rid of Doc, negating Shizuku's, whatever her name is, negating her effects and making her attack and defense 0. That was really strong and relevant, but unfortunately, that was not enough. Now, see, what I would have done, and it wouldn't have mattered considering Strike was set. Well, unless I was going to play around Strike, which I don't think I would have, knowing me. But unless I played around Strike, I wouldn't have activated Doc's effect. But at one point I would have, and Strike would have outed him anyway. But anyway, I would have attacked Unicorn because I know my opponent has 2 cards in hand and one of them is Engage. And if I attack Unicorn, then my opponent has to get rid of the Sky Striker card. Now, obviously, he could just make Kazuki or Kagaki, whatever the other Sky Striker Link card is. But in that situation, I'm forcing my opponent to do an extra step, to overextend, just so he can activate his Engage or their Engage, which I think could be very powerful. But like I said, the Strike being set there, I don't actually think it mattered. Ocho going first. I might try to pick up Magical Musketeers, depending on how expensive it is. I like this deck, but it was still really expensive when I had it, and I didn't like it for what it was. That is Caspar, which is really strong. I'm not sure what card he just set. I think I just built the deck wrong, too. It's definitely not... It's not ABC Dragon Buster Turbo, where that deck is like, you pick it up, you know how to play it immediately. Caspar, I mean, yeah, there are elements of that deck that are difficult, but no, like that, like there are elements of the deck that are difficult, but for the most part, that deck is super easy and super free. Magical Musketeers isn't really like that. Like I couldn't even figure out when to how the interaction between Desires and like Caspar was. But anyway, excuse me, we see an Afterburner activate, attempting to get rid of Caspar. Last Stand was chained to that, destroying it. Terraforming is now activated, getting the Light Stage. Light Stage is probably going to search whatever Trickstar card Galantron is missing, because it's a generic searcher. It doesn't just search monsters. While yes, a lot of... it is monsters. Okay, never mind. Most field spells are just monsters. And we see a Mind Crush hitting Trickstar Candina, which was just searched. Mind Crush, probably sided in by Ocho. I would have gone for... I would have Mind Crushed the Light Stage, though. Because here's my thing. If my opponent opens Terraforming, Licorice, what else did he activate? Terraforming, Licorice, Afterburners, Reincarnation Droll. My opponent, you know, the same thing happens. Then my opponent goes Terraforming, searches Light Stage. I'm going to Mind Crush the Light Stage because I don't want the Light Stage hitting the field. Because as soon as Light Stage hits the field, and this is another reason why I don't want Light Stage hitting the field, but as soon as Light Stage hits the field, then my opponent can summon the Licorice, and he can just start doing, or they can start doing just free damage against me, and they can start getting rid of my spells and traps. Which also, he could have activated. Oh, I guess. Because it was Light Stage, activate, search Candina, Mind Crush, activate, calling Candina. I usually try to get rid of Light Stage because if I go Mind Crush, search, call Candina, my opponent's got no Light Stage, he can just Light Stage for another Candina. But if I go Mind Crush, call Light Stage, I get rid of all my opponent's Light Stages. In this game state, I'm not really entirely sure if it would have mattered. That being said, we see a Light Stage, search Lilybell. Lilybell special summon herself, perfect. Licorice come out. Be normal summons. That's not going through. There's no way. No way that it goes through. There's no way that goes through. Licorice is attempting to attack Caspar. I mean, okay. It's possible that attack goes through, but I just don't see that attack going through. Ocho's thinking about whether or not, probably he's thinking about whether or not he's going to activate Steady Hands or Cross Domination. I think that I would keep the one that negates monsters' effects, because that could come up and be relevant later. Because Steady Hands, I believe, is the one that doubles the attack. That just seems more relevant in this current game state. Caspar, that's from the deck, right? Yep. He's actually going to take the damage. What? Is that really... Jeez. Candina is going to be brought back into Galantron's hand. So that is the positive for Ocho. He knows the only card in Galantron's hand. Wouldn't be surprised if a Reincarnation or a Strike is set, or if one of the Sky Striker cards, which Sky Striker cards aren't super live right now, we probably would have seen Galantron go into a Trickstar. I think there is a Trickstar Link 2 monster. Yeah, there definitely is. So he probably would have gone into that if he had the option to. I just don't know why the Caspar got taken out. It's confusing to me. Maybe Ocho just didn't have anything for it. But we see a Starfire normal summons. Probably going to see Ocho use the card that he was probably thinking about using for Caspar on Starfire to summon out Caspar. We see a Torrential Tribute come down. Last Stand is chained to that. There really isn't anything Galvatron that I can think of has, unless it's a red reboot that could negate that Last Stand. And so now Starfire's effect is going to activate. That's actually exactly what Ocho wanted. Ocho wanted Galvatron to use his Solemn Warning, to use a Torrential Tribute. Bottomless Trap Hole's not live in that situation, but he wanted him to use one of his spell and traps so he could use the Last Stand, put it in Starfire's column, and get the Starfire summon. That's exactly how Ocho wanted that interaction to happen. I'm sorry if I keep scratching myself in this video. Last time I got a haircut, it was in this chair, and I haven't cleaned it well, and I didn't like put anything on it, which I definitely should have. That's, you know, it's not really your problem, but that's just my fault, you know. And that's the beautiful thing about Dueling Book commentary. Every other single one of my videos, bunch of jump cuts. I got 30 minutes of content that turn into 2-minute videos. Not Dueling Book commentary. Dueling Book commentary is just straight talking, just off the top of my head, trying to talk as much as possible, which I'm definitely great at. As we see a Caspar summons right next to the Starfire. So this is an interesting situation for Ocho. Galvatron does have a Candina in his hand, and right now Ocho has no way of outing Licorice or Lilybell, which could cause some problems. I don't think Licorice can use herself. Yeah, she can't use herself. But what he can do, Galvatron can do, is normal summon Candida, search Licorice, attack Starfire with Licorice. Licorice gets outed, who cares? Attack Starfire with Candina, summon the Licorice using Lilybell, attack directly, special summon the Lilybell after adding it to hand, attack directly with Lilybell, go get the Licorice. Now this is predicated on whether or not this resolves this whole entire play string, and also what's in Ocho or Galvatron's hand. But it does resolve, so no Ash Blossom, Cross Domination I think is what they're called, whatever the one that negates monster effects. None of that card either. We go to get Trickstar Reincarnation, which is interesting. Maybe trying to get that burn damage. No time limit though on Dueling Books, so that's a bit of a problem for Trickstars. So we're gonna see a Link 2 summon. It is Nightmare Cerberus. Cerberus is going to discard the Reincarnation, which is really strong, and shuffle. That actually gets shuffled back into the deck. Not sure if Galvatron's going to call. Oh, that's Unicorn. That's the right thing to do. Destroys. Yeah, Unicorn shuffles back into the deck. And so now we see those two probably going to make the Unicorn. Unicorn's going to discard the Scapegoat. That is actually this time going to shuffle back. And let me see if he has game here, because 22 Reincarnation, Lilybell makes 8 plus 2, so that's 1,000. That's 32. Plus Licorice is 18, so that's 5,000 damage with a Licorice on board backed by a light stage. So if this is Reincarnation, that is Scoop Phase, or if it's, you know, not gift card, the present card, the one that makes you just like another card, like a Reincarnation-esque card. I would have waited to activate this in the battle phase. Not really quite sure if that's a big thing, but that's just what I would have done. Because some things can only happen during main phase 1. So we see the Lilybell attacking first. If that damage goes through, which it has yet to, got a lot going on here. Wait, no, that is game. Wait, yeah, that is game, because, excuse me, I misspoke, because what it was, he was 1,000 short, right? Well, what happens is Lilybell attacks, Licorice gets added, Licorice comes down, Lilybell gets added, Lilybell comes down. That's actually what just happened. 6k damage as Trickstar Sky Strikers pummels Magical Musketeers. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Make sure you click that like button if you like this video. If you click that dislike button, you gotta promise me something. You gotta subscribe to this channel. But most importantly of all, though, have a great day.
Belling through the motherfucking street, y'all.